what do guys do? Yeah, but you're beautiful, baby. Kind of respectful, but yeah, we can do something. Good morning. Today got another video for you. Today it's about, do men do enough? Let's go.
Modern day dating can be tricky because you have a bunch of different opinions going on in one generation. You have strong opinionated women, you have strong opinionated men, you have some people who were raised in single family households, some people that were necessarily raised in a family household, some people who were raised in foster homes. Whether it's polygamy, whether it's being single, whether it's being in a relationship, everyone's opinion is so different. So it makes dating in this generation very complicated.
Do you think men are socialized to be gentlemen?
I think they are, yeah.
Okay. Do you think men are also raised to be protectors and providers for women?
Yes.
Do you think that some men go as far as putting women up on a pedestal?
Yeah.
If all of those are true, why do you think that there are so many women who are angry at men? Aren't those all good qualities?
Because men suck.
Okay. So I don't expect any woman to protect me when something happens, like being dangerous or whatever. Wife brought me early morning coffee. Ooh. I like all this quality, but maybe your delivery is bad. And I can get where she's coming from, but I would say it's a very unique pressure.
How do they suck if they do all those good things that we just talked about?
Because they don't do enough.
So how picky is too picky?
It depends
Okay,
on what you want, what your standards are.
Okay, where do standards come from?
Standards come from how you grow up.
Right, but I mean, if people will say, like, that's how I was raised, I mean, some people are raised to be racist, homophobic. I mean, can you blame how you grew up for having certain behavior? Or should you just, make your own decisions?
You should, you can blame part of it, but as you get older, you make your own decisions.
Yeah, but that goes both ways.
Because they don't do enough.
Because for me, if she isn't doing enough, my way of thinking is I will do more manly gender roles at a humongous level to make her realize, damn, I got something good. Maybe I need to step up. And some people are going to tell you like, yeah, but maybe they don't step up. That's why you need to strategize. If you're a very Gucci man or a very Gucci woman and you just disappear by doing something that you need and leave the house, the next day when you see the result, just tell them, well, I went to do something. See, you could have helped me. We need to work as a team. Don't be like angry.
I feel a lot of men put women on pedestals, but only for their benefit sometimes.
Okay, if all of those things are true, why do you think that there are some women who are really angry at men? Aren't those all really good qualities?
Those are good qualities, but a lot of times men are not honest.
Hey, I really like this lady. I try to get to a lady respectfully and nothing happens. By not being so serious, but with more jokey ways and gangster jokes and stuff. And it was exciting. And suddenly we were like whining, dancing, because that's the only way you can get close to a lady. You have to make the signals correctly. As a man, you usually need to go, get and try something out and hope you're beautiful enough that she doesn't perceive this as a creepy person, The amount of people that actually pulled me on the side as a kid was like, yeah, well, what are you doing? That's not how you get the lady. And I'm like, but what do you want from me? So these mixed signals, right, creates the situation that a lot of men are dishonest how they project themselves. Because I don't think people take in consideration how confusing the communication is for men, but we also have to be responsible for being respectful in a kinky way, It blurs the vision of good and bad men. I think people need to teach men correctly what chivalry is and what respect is to a person. If you respect a lady, she doesn't owe you anything. But if you're being very chivalrous with that person, you have to understand that they might not perceive it as a sensual thing.
In your opinion, what are the characteristics of a gentleman?
I think a gentleman is somebody who definitely looks out for not even just his female friends, family, somebody who puts someone else before them and making sure that the people that he cared for is taken care of in any shape, form, or fashion.
I like that. That's a beautiful answer.
So as he said, it's to be gentlemen with men or women. The difference is sometimes you get something from a woman, so the battlefield is different.
That's a beautiful answer. Do you think that men are socialized to be gentlemen?
I think it depends on how you were raised. I think you can learn to be a gentleman, but if you weren't raised with the type of foundation with a man and a female who taught you what it was when you walk into the house to take your hat off, to hold the door open for a female, to stand on the right side of the street when you walk in with a female. It's certain things that in the household are bestowed upon you. If you're not necessarily taught these things, it's not going to dawn on you, but you can learn it.
I feel like their parents raise them to be a gentleman, but their friends teach them to be something else.
I've never been taught by my father how to have game, or by my stepmother. It's always about you have to be respectful, And I think that sends like a very bad signal, because nobody teaches you how you need to get a girl. It's not like we need to watch a movie and use movie line, which is kind of corny if you're going to reach a girl, But whenever I did something with game, for example, I would say my aunties, which usually were around me because my mother passed away a very long time ago, they were like, "Woo, you went in, oh my god, when did you learn that?" Or some people are like, "Well, you're not supposed to do that. You have to be respectful. How could you dance with a girl so kinky?" I mean, so as a guy, I get confused. I'm like, but hey, she seems to be liking it. And they're like, yes, but she's liking you for the wrong reason. It's always received with an answer, you're wrong. You could have done better. It's not healthy. That's why men start lying, because they're like, you know what? I just want to feel good once for doing something without being judged about it.
But their friends teach them to be something else.
Okay, then why do you think that there are so many women who go after bad boys who don't act like gentlemen? Okay, all right. Do you think a man should sooner give up his seat on a bus for a young woman or for an elderly man with a cane?
Elderly man with a cane.
Maybe an elderly man with a cane.
She had to think a lot about that. Come on, man.
Elderly man with a cane.
That's what most people say. So would you agree that chivalry is really more about just having good manners than
100.
specifically respecting women?
You hit it right on the nose. Chivalry is not just about respecting women. It goes both ways. When we started the interview off and you asked me a question, I told you, you asked me what are qualities about a gentleman. I said this goes with how you treat people in general. Chivalry is this is how you treat people,
He might fall. And he might not even be able to walk anymore because you didn't give him the seat.
And I'm not seeing a lot of people respecting each other.
Sure, okay. And respect, me personally, I think respect starts with listening to people first and foremost,
Yeah.
And then trying to put yourself in someone else's shoes.
Correct.
Okay.
100%.
Do you think respect should be given or should it be earned?
Earned.
Matter of fact, I think that's a two-way street, because I give you my respect immediately.
Right.
You can lose it in a split second.
So nobody's gonna come tell me, yeah, Jordan Peter said that this race has motivated the wrong people. Whoa. I'm not talking about that. A lot of people don't take in consequences what their words affect because they feel entitled. I'm a good person. No, kiss my freaking ass. Don't call me that stuff in my direction. I hate that. My respect should mean to go poof, and you're gonna be like, why? You don't have to say it. Your action should reflect it.
Something you wish men understood better about women, what would that be?
That we like sex just as much as they do.
Hey, I know it. They like the funky.
Okay, so if women like sex just as much as men do, why do they typically make a man work for it? Why does a man have to earn it?
Because we are internal creatures, so we can't just receive any body into our...
It feels different, It's like somebody is going into your territory and hopefully you're going to feel good about it. Let's just say I can understand why ladies should feel more comfortable in those situations than men.
Was there anything about your experiences with women just over the years that actually came as a surprise to you?
A lot of women in this generation don't like gentlemen. They don't like nice guys.
Wow, okay. So what do you think they're... Like, okay, do you think that women tend to lust after bad boys but want to settle down with nice guys?
Correct.
Interesting, okay.
100% correct.
I had a girlfriend. She broke my heart. and we're trying to work it out for a very long time. And I remember I was talking to one of my best friends that was always giving me advice on how I had to approach a woman. And it was always in a kinky but yet super respectful way. And I could not get with my ex, I could not get with any girl because nothing was working. Literally nothing was working, right? And it was frustrating for me. And when I was just complaining about it like for a few days, suddenly she just said one time, "Stop being a faggot." And it hit me in such a wrong way, I just wanted to punch her. Like I really wanted to punch her right there. Because this same girl, I was being respectful to her and I was listening to all her stuff about her boyfriend. And it was like, for the first time I'm down, and in a gangster way you're telling me that I cannot be frustrated in my whole situation, that I'm a faggot, I just should be a man. And it was like, aren't you the one that kept telling me that I have to be respectful with all these ladies? But whenever I want to go gangster, like, yeah, but you shouldn't treat women like that. So I was doing everything what she said, but when I complained nothing was working, she told me I'm a faggot, be a man. It was so contradicting, and that is the moment that I realized I'm not gonna do this anymore. I'm not gonna be the man on the pedestal that you assume exists that you want to date, but at the same time you're the wanted man, but he isn't exciting in the long run. You're setting me up for failure. I remember it pissed me off so much, and I was like, hey man, I'm done. I'm going to get a girl in the most gangster kinky way, in a respectful way, dancing, hoo, sexy, do the stuff that I would never do. And gee, it worked. It worked amazingly well. I just did it with one person. That's my type of respect.
And they'll get the nice guy, they'll get the good guy that'll do everything for them, but they still got that itch.
Right. Okay.
For the bad guy.
Do you think that there's a difference between what women say that they want in a relationship and what they actually respond to?
I think that's everybody.
Everybody, okay.
I think that's men too. I think that's females. I think we all have the thing of opposites attract.
You do think opposites attract more than like minds?
I think it's a fair balance.
But for me, there is nothing more kinky when you can have an interesting discussion with your partner, which you respect. Making wrong assumptions and being corrected in a respectful way, that is how you make people experience a change of hearts. But in this society, you can't say anything. Because whenever you say one thing, oh my god, but this is my truth. I'm like, shut up. Let me make a mistake. It's my truth too. That people explode in people's face, and I'm like, gee, shut up. You don't know what the guy go through. Like somebody screams at somebody, you don't know pain. I'm like, the dude saw his mother in a bathtub which cut her wrist. Yeah, well, it's an exception. No. And if you sympathize, oh, now I understand you. No, you shouldn't do that then. The information that he's going to provide shouldn't be the level that you're going to respect him. You should respect him from the beginning.
What do you find more attractive? Somebody that is down to earth, or somebody that walks around and acts like they're all that?
Oh God, down to earth.
Okay, and for a lot of people, that's what most people say, but why do you think so many people walk around and act like they're all that when it's unattractive?
Because somebody told them they were all that.
Hey, I really like this lady. I can see she's not coming from away from emotions, but she's coming from experience, Because the fact that we are supposed to respect all the ladies and put them on the pedestal, I can see that certain people believe they are on a different level. And that creates this weird stigma. And because men have to lie to get specific stuff, because they were taught to push them up so they can get some. I mean, what do guys do? Yeah, but you're beautiful, baby. Kind of respectful, but yeah, we can do something, You give these people this whole different image of the whole situation that maybe some of them aren't even that beautiful. They just want the funky. Not all women, but people that have been using this dating stuff, and they get this false illusion what a relation can be.
Ah, okay. Interesting. Do you think that a woman's level of physical attractiveness affects her behavior and potential for status?
50-50. I think that's a good question. That really is. For some females, it can be blinding. They can see something they like, and that's it. Oh, he's cute. That's it. He's fly. Like, they don't care about nothing else. But then you got these females that's, all right, you look good. What else can you provide? What are you doing?
Do you think it's true that women often find attractive men cute and romantic when an ugly one doing the exact same thing is creepy?
100%.
Yes.
Because I can walk up to a female. I don't feel like right now I need a haircut. I look crazy. But I could walk up to a female and just whisper in her ear and be like, yo, you got a fat ass. And she might just laugh. But let an ugly dude do that, it's a whole nother story.
I've said exactly the same things that specific good guys said, that I was like, whoa, I would never dare to say that. Because I've seen girls be like, oh, you crazy. And I'm like, oh, well, let me try that. And I know, okay, I'm done, man.
Do you think there is a difference between what women say that they want in a relationship and what they actually respond to?
Yes.
So how do you trust a woman's dating advice?
You can't.
You can't.
She's
Women are
never-
horse.
Don't ask a fish how to catch fish, you ask a fisherman. So wouldn't a guy have a better understanding if he asked a guy who's successful with women
Yes.
rather than asking women?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
1,000,000%.
so why do so many women complain that guys don't like take their advice seriously when
I
they
don't.
don't even practice what they preach?
Because
I
we
don't.
want
You
men
have
to
no
kneel
answer
to us.
'cause you
You
do
want
it.
men to what?
Kneel down to us.
And if I have to be honest, it's the most horrible time in my life. I will never do that again. Those were also the ladies that were teasing me that, hey, maybe your game ain't right. But then again, you want me to be respectful. But whenever I do something with a gay move, you're like, ooh, look at him. Where do you think you're going with that? So it can be quite contradicting and it can be quite confusing. Imagine as a girl that everybody has this whole expectation that you have to be constantly a lady or something like that. If you want to recognize that, as a man, you also have to recognize the other way. It is social pressure. It was for me to get my wife in a disco when I just listened to my nephew that usually just flies a plane, and on the same plane he steps out with a girlfriend. I just listened to him. You know what he told me? Don't be yourself. Don't talk about this Dragon Ball stuff or anything. Don't over-explain yourself. Short phraser, say something funny and make it Gucci. That's it. I was at a party. I didn't do something weird. I was respectful. I was just taking my sip like a chill, mysterious man. She came and asked me what time is it. I started laughing in her face and I told her, hey, you can speak me in Spanish. I can see it in your accent. How are you doing? And she was like, why are you laughing at me? Like, wow, you have a funny accent. And it was just teasing her, like being very funny and joking, you know. And I would never done that when I had to be respectful. I was very jokingly in your face, but in a comfortable way, like standoffish, but she kept approaching me and it worked. Nobody taught me that. You have to be this man. They were projecting a man that they wanted, supposedly by society, but in secret, they were doing stuff that was like, you're a little nasty, you know, but you're never telling me that I need to get a woman the way that you're being nasty. You know? Yeah, but sometimes we just feel like that. Well, tell me what? Yeah, but you can't find a good woman doing that. It's so confusing.
There are a lot of double standards because men go out and have sex with anyone. They're the king. But when women go out and have sex with
There
people,
will never be.
they're whores.
Right, but do you
We
know
will
why?
never be.
Do you know why that is?
Why?
It's because it's a lot harder to be a stud. To be a stud, you have to be
Oh, yeah,
charming
but then
and,
again, at the
and
same
successful.
time,
to be
you
a slut, you
accept-
just have to show up.
Yeah, but listen to this. You accept what you can get. We pick who we want. That's the difference between
that's
man
fine.
and a woman.
Isn't that an awfully privileged position to be in?
Not really.
To be able to
'Cause
have,
how many privileged positions are you in? Do you have a period? Can you get pregnant?
that's biology though.
But still, it's just part of it.
Okay.
That's like, but I mean,
It's
we're
complicated. I'll give
emotionally
you a card.
driven. Men are sexually driven. Do we pick
Okay.
that? No.
Do you think that being emotional should entitle anyone to sympathy or special
No.
treatment?
No,
So
I
do
think
women
we're-
deserve
I
special treatment just because they're
understand that, like-
emotional?
What?
Okay. She just went in a conversation half drunk. She wasn't ready for that.
Who do you think regulates the sex in a relationship, the man or the woman?
Woman.
The woman, right? Yeah, you know what I ask people? What's the longest that a man's ever made you wait for sex?
Never.
I mean, that is true. That is true. If you're in a equal relationship, usually it comes automatically. Whenever one wants to do it, you both respect each other and you just do it, you know?
Do you think that it's true that women tend to want equality when it's convenient, when it suits them, but they're happy to revert to traditional roles when it doesn't?
I actually agree with that, low-key. Yeah, no, it depends on the woman, absolutely. But like, yeah, absolutely. But like, I can see that. Like,
right. Do you think that kind of discredits, or some of the movement behind the equality, because it's not really equal? That's kind of like double standards. It's kind of like having your cake and eating it too, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, I don't know, because like especially now today's age, like it takes two household like incomes to like run a household.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was raised like you cook and you do your husband's laundry, like that kind of stuff. But at the same time, like don't take advantage of it. Like I'm doing it because I love you and you're my husband. But like if there's not a ring on my finger, like don't fucking expect that. You know what I mean? There's a certain respect level that goes along with that.
That's a very good point. For example, as you saw me, I got my coffee from my wife. She gives me specific space so I can do my YouTube videos and all those stuff. So I know that when I get out, I need to give something back. And not that I need to, it's just like, hey, thank you for this time. Okay, I'm gonna do something else that you might need. Anything, I don't care. It's like for us, it comes very automatic. We've worked very hard on this and it's kind of Gucci because she deserves it. But she also says after you do your stuff, you don't come out of that room angry. That's why she doesn't like me to play specific games that piss me off, because she's like, hey, if I'm gonna give you time to do the stuff that you enjoy, get out of there in a good mood. Don't play League of Legends. That's my own fault that the game pissed me off. If I can't win, get better at the game. And if not, just chill your ass.
What's the best compliment you've ever received?
That I have received, I have a beautiful soul. I kid you not, I was randomly sitting in the airport and a girl walked up to me. I didn't know her from a hole in the wall. She looked at me and said, excuse me, I just want to tell you that you have a beautiful soul. I was amazed. I didn't know where it came from, and she just walked off.
She just wanted to get in your pants, dude.
Hey, it worked. It would have worked. If she would have stayed, it might would have worked.
Why do you think that there are so many women who seem to be obsessed with luxury and status?
I think that's a great question. I think that a lot of females are obsessed with luxury and status for the simple fact of a lot of females don't want to work. They don't want to put that in. Some females want to sit home. They want to be comfort. They want to deal with a man providing for them and providing a certain lifestyle. You do got certain females that don't want that, but it's a lot of females that really do want that from a guy.
Do you think it's okay for a woman to judge a man based on his wealth and status?
Only if I could do the same for you.
Well, why do you think men don't typically judge women based on their wealth and status?
Because we look for loyalty. We look for someone that's supportive. We look for comfort. We look for somebody that listens to us. Women look for different things than we do.
People are only as loyal as their options?
Woo! This generation? Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And why do you think women will often give the advice to a man to just be yourself, or it's what's on the inside that counts, instead of advising a man to increase his wealth and status, if that's what so many of them are attracted to?
I think because they're projecting something that they want, that's usually socially accepted, but they're not projecting what they need, at least in public, because they realize that, hey, it might not look that good.
They talking what they think you want to hear.
Uh-huh. Okay.
They're not going to. Certain females will tell you the truth and certain won't.
Uh-huh. Would you prefer a woman who is completely honest with you, or a woman who tells you what you want to hear?
Tell me completely honest. I like the honesty because regardless at the end of the day, if we bump heads or we fall out behind whatever it say, I can always respect you. I can always look at you and have respect, like you told me the truth, and I can always deal with that.
I've talked actually about everything with my wife. Depression, suicide, what I like in bed, who I don't like, in her family also. Things that would offend people, other family members. I say, yeah, but I don't trust this person in this and this and that, and I don't care what you think about it. And we actually talked it out. And I tell her, tell me the truth. I don't want to be surprised later because that's going to offend me. Just tell me the truth. Because I prefer that I'm disappointed now than get blindsided. If you think blindsiding somebody and you're going to fix it later, that's the way you want to live, I'm going to be like, you know what? Life is going to be very interesting to you. Let me know which Netflix that is because I want to watch it. Because it's going to be a messy situation. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think, what you guys found interesting. And thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe.
Don't get me wrong, makosa kita bong. Buta fire na mi blonde kush hash purple skunk criollo colombici jam jam tur loqueta verdeta welcome.